And so I was eating good quality protein and real foods really for the first time in my entire life. And I just felt a huge difference. This is not a one-time thing. We want to train and teach people how to change their lives forever to be healthy. Because you work with people all the time and you help people, and that's what you do.
You're listening to Wonderful Life with Tom Rohr. From Rogers to Bedford Falls, from Fayetteville to Pottersville, we're discovering how one person's life can have an effect on so many others. My guest today is Kara Barber. Kara would like to help your family eat real food and properly understand the science behind weight gain. This knowledge then becomes a lifetime solution to health wellness. So Kara, please tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Well, I will start with my family. I am married and I have 2 kids. I have a 3-year-old little boy named Ethan, and he is incredibly rambunctious and can hit a baseball and kick a soccer ball. He is athletically inclined. And I have a 19-month-old little girl named Quinlan, and she is an expert at getting her brother in trouble already.
I bet they're really close and have become fast friends.
They are very good friends. They play really well together, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sometimes they say that 2 is like 1, probably not all the time.
Yes, especially with the boy and girl. They do get in some fights, but they are good friends. I hope that continues. We have been in Northwest Arkansas since July, so less than a year, and we love it here. And we have moved all around, but I have been in the health and wellness industry for many years. I have a bachelor's in sports fitness and a master's in kinesiology. I've been a personal trainer. I've been a basketball coach. I've been a biology teacher. I've been a nursing assistant. So I've experienced many areas of health and wellness, and I have seen a lot. And I love working with people and helping people and taking care of people, which has just helped my drive in this area of life, because you work with people all the time and you help people, and that's what you do.
Tell us a little bit about your husband.
Well, my husband and I have been married for 6 years. He is currently pursuing appraising, and he just got certified to start doing the apprenticeship for appraising. And so he's going to start doing that. And so that is an exciting adventure for him. Previously, he has been in the financial industry, just was not a fan of the pressure of that type of lifestyle and wanted to be able to spend more time with his family and be around for our children's events as they grow up.
This is a good market for that.
Yes, it is.
You said your husband's family is from around here?
My husband is one of 5 boys, and they are all in Northwest Arkansas. And there are lots and lots of cousins for our kids. There's all ages, from babies to preteens. There's the whole group of them, and we all hang out frequently, and it is a lot of fun and very loud.
What are some of the other places where you've lived?
Well, I am originally from Texas, and so I am a Texas girl. My Texas pride has lessened since moving to Arkansas, but I've also lived in Kansas as well, so I am a Jayhawk fan, so hopefully they do well in the basketball tournament going on.
So far, so good.
Yes, so far.
Your business is called Ideal Health. How long have you been involved with Ideal Health?
Well, I opened in January 1st, 2018, and I offer the Ideal Protein Protocol, and I've been involved with Ideal Protein for about 6 or 7 years. And so my clinic is new, but I have worked with the company Ideal Protein for a long time. I actually work with my mother-in-law. My clinic is actually a branch off of her Little Rock clinic. And so I worked with her since 2011 in some capacity whether it be helping her coach. I helped run her clinic for a time, and I do a lot of online work for her so that she doesn't have to do that, since I'm the quote-unquote young smart one with computers. Not really, but I can do stuff pretty efficiently.
Compared to her.
Yes, she thinks so anyways.
Okay, well, that's good. Perception is very important.
Yeah.
So it sounds like with your lifestyle, it attracted you to this kind of business. Can you remember early on what attracted you to get involved in your business?
Well, I actually started this while I was personal training, and I was engaged to get married. And I was in Little Rock, and my mother-in-law had just opened up her clinic and was looking for help. And so I asked if I could help coach, and she said, yes, but you have to go on the diet first. And I didn't need to lose weight. I was about to get married, so I was working out like crazy. And I had always eaten relatively healthy, so I ate fruit, chicken, and granola bars. That's pretty much what my diet consisted of. And so I wasn't eating fried foods every day, but I also wasn't eating optimal nutrition, but I had no idea. So I went on this protocol, Ideal Protein, and I actually, in the first week, I lost 3 pounds and 8 inches. And I was shocked that I actually lost weight and inches. And then the second week, I actually gained weight because I gained muscle mass, because I had never eaten protein really in my entire life. And so I was eating good quality protein and real foods really for the first time in my entire life. And I just felt a huge difference. I was more energetic. I was more confident. I was sleeping better. And I was already relatively healthy and very active. And I still had really significant changes just from following this protocol for a few weeks. And so that was when I really started to fall in love with Ideal Protein.
So really, your business is a lifestyle business.
Yes, it is. We practice and preach lifestyle change. This is not a fad. This is not a one-time thing. We want to train and teach people how to change their lives forever to be healthy.
When I saw your presentation, on one of the slides, you explained the average person's sugar consumption in 1905 versus today. Could you explain that story?
Yes. So in 1905, the average North American ingested about 5 pounds of sugar a year. And today, they ingest about 150 to 200 pounds of sugar a year. And that is a drastic increase. And so if you think about some things that we eat that have sugar, you can think about like a Coke. A 16-ounce Coke has about 14 teaspoons of sugar in it, which is about 1/4 a cup of sugar. People drink how many of those a day? 5 a day. Go to Sonic, get the Route 44 drinks, and don't even think about how much sugar is in what they are drinking. Non-fat pumpkin lattes, for all you pumpkin people out there, they have about 29 grams of added extra sugar in them. 1 cup of canned fruit and heavy syrup has about 37 grams of extra sugar. And those are just a few examples of where sugars are in our foods that we might not even realize or think about, especially when we drink our foods. We don't think a lot about the sugars in those foods that we are drinking.
What you teach is avoiding that. Tell us about the protein focus of your program.
So on our program, you are actually eating the recommended daily amount of protein. It might sound a lot, but when you really break it down, you're not eating any more than you should be eating to be healthy. And so we have protein products, and then you also eat animal protein that goes along with those products.
If you map what you teach to 1905, is the diet similar to that?
Probably the biggest difference is all the processed foods that we eat now, and even breads, pastas, all of those grains are even more highly processed today than they were back then. And so there's a lot of added sugar in those as well. And the amount of carbohydrates and sugar that we eat is much higher. And it's a lot easier just to go buy something instead of cooking it yourself. And so that's where our issues arise.
So I know in your program there are 4 phases. Why don't you take us through the 4 phases?
Okay, so phase 1 is your ultimate phase where you're going to lose all of your weight or meet whatever health goal that you are searching for. We don't choose that for you. That is your choice. And so on phase 1, you eat 3 of our ideal protein products. And we have a variety of products. We have bars, we have shakes, we have drink packets, we have soup mixes, we have pudding mixes. There's a huge variety. So that helps a lot because you get to choose whatever you want to choose out of our protein products each week. And then you are eating 8 ounces of animal protein, lean animal protein. So you can't go eat 8 ounces of bacon every week. And you're eating 4 cups of low glycemic vegetables. And that a lot of that is leafy greens and broccoli and cauliflower. So potatoes aren't on there. Spaghetti squash isn't on there just because those are on the higher end of glycemic index. And we want to keep that low while you're on this plan. You're drinking 2 liters of water. And then you're taking some of our supplements because initially what we have done, especially in phase 1, is we have created an unbalanced diet to help you lose weight because our bodies naturally want to gain weight. And so in order to get them to lose weight efficiently, we have to change the way our bodies naturally want to eat.
Okay. The average person you work with, are their bodies in shock?
The first 3 days are going to be the hardest.
Okay.
And what our diet is a ketosis diet, so that means it burns fat. And so we restrict the carbohydrates, so then your body, instead of using glucose from the carbohydrates for fuel, it uses your fat for fuel. And it takes your body a little while to get used to that because it's a completely different system that your body is now going to use for energy. And so the first 3 days are going to be the worst because you can get headaches, you can get fatigue, you're going to have really bad breath, but only for 3 days. That doesn't last. You could get nausea, but those things go away. They're not permanent. They will change as your body adjusts to that eating plan. Now, not everyone feels really bad. Only some people will feel really bad. It varies for each person depending on how you ate before you started working on getting healthy.
Then after 3 days, what are the challenges you have?
The biggest challenge is sticking to the plan.
Okay.
Because it's very restrictive in the fact that it is done for you. So that's the nice thing. You don't have to think about counting calories, counting carbs, counting points. You just do what we tell you to do and you'll get results. So the hardest part is just following the plan because it's hard to do social events, to go out to eat. Those are the biggest challenges after your body starts to acclimate to the program, is just doing it until you reach that goal.
Okay, you're in phase 1. When do you reach your goal?
Yes, you are in phase 1 till you reach your goal. So that's your either weight loss goal, clothing size, if there's a certain health number with your blood work that you want to reach. That's what we shoot for.
So tell me, what's the fastest and tell me the longest time a client has taken in phase 1?
Well, we have had people who do phase 1 for a year. That's probably the longest we've had somebody do it. The fastest phase 1 is probably about a month. And when you're on phase 1, you lose about 2 to 3 pounds a week. Usually for men, it's a little bit higher. Sorry, women, just how it works. And so
they probably have a little more weight to lose also.
Yeah.
Let's move on to phase 2.
So phase 2, you are on phase 2 only for 2 weeks. And that's when we start phasing you off of this plan and starting to reintroduce foods back into your diet. So your body doesn't stress out or freak out when you start eating different foods again. So on phase 2, we take away one of our protein products and we add in another 8 ounces of animal protein. So you're now eating 16 ounces of animal protein, 2 of our ideal protein products, 4 cups of vegetables, 2 liters of water, and then our supplement. So it's very similar to phase 1. You're just taking out a product and adding in more protein. And you're on that for 2 weeks. And generally people aren't going to lose weight on phase 2, but it is still possible to lose some weight while you are on that phase.
It probably depends on what their goal was, how their body reacted.
Yes.
How about phase 3?
Phase 3, we like to call the fun phase because that's when you get to start adding in dairy products. You get to add a grain and you get to add a fruit. And then you also add in an Ideal Complete, and that is a meal replacement product that we have because Ideal Protein has done research that shows when you do a meal replacement once a day, it helps you keep your weight off better. So in phase 3 is a lot of fun because you get to eat fruit again. You could have a piece of bread if you wanted to. You could have some cheese. A lot of people miss cheese. And so those products you actually only eat in the morning. So you get to have this awesome breakfast. So you can have eggs, you can have a piece of bacon, you can have some fruit and yogurt. And so you just do that once a day on phase 3. So your body slowly is getting used to eating those foods again. And so while you're on phase 3, you're also going to still be eating 4 cups of vegetables and 16 ounces of animal protein. So you are eating a lot of food.
So typically, how long would someone be on phase 3?
Phase 3 is about 2 weeks as well.
So what's going on in your body between phase 2 and phase 3?
Your glycogen storages have been completely depleted on phase 1, and you get glycogen when you eat carbohydrates. And so your body does not have very much of those because you're now using your fat, which is converting to ketones, and that's your fuel. So when we start adding those foods back into your diet, your glycogen storages are starting to replenish. And so occasionally we will have someone who has a one-time weight gain on the scale, but it's not actually weight gain. Your cells have just replenished with glycogen, and it shows up as a weight gain according to the scale, but you haven't gained fat. And so that's what's happening in your body because your pancreas has gotten some rest time. And so now that glycogen is back and it's going to start working a little bit harder. And so those are the physiological changes that will happen. And so as you're phasing off of plant, instead of overloading that pancreas all of a sudden with all those carbohydrates and dairy products and fruits you haven't been eating, we do it slowly so your pancreas isn't all of a sudden having to work overtime.
So in phase 2 and phase 3, how are they feeling? Do they have more energy? Still adjusting? Are there pain points?
Not typically. Phase 3 is probably the hardest because phase 2 is so similar to phase 1. There's not a huge difference. Phase 3 is when people start to get nervous about putting those foods back into their diet and gaining weight. Those are the biggest concerns that people have because generally after being on phase 1 and reaching your goal, you're already going to have more energy. You're going to be sleeping better. You're going to be feeling better. A lot of changes have already happened to your body. And so now we're just trying to keep those changes there. And we don't want to reverse to where you were before you went on our plan.
Now we're up to phase 4. Tell me about phase 4.
Phase 4 is our lifestyle or maintenance phase. So this is where you get to eat food, real food, whatever you want, kind of. So we coach you. This is where a lot of our health coaching comes into play. You can buy our products on this phase if you would like to. They are not a required part of phase 4. This is where we teach you how to eat real foods and how to pair foods correctly so you can go grocery shopping and cook meals for your family without doing it in an unhealthy way, without stressing out at the grocery store. And so we do a lot of health coaching in phase 4. And this is also, we also call this our maintenance phase, where we teach you how to maintain that weight loss.
Are there restrictions to the amount of food you can consume?
The only thing that we focus on that is we want you to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. The biggest thing, we don't want you to pair a carbohydrate and a fat together. So in nature, you have protein, carbohydrates, and fats. The only things that are not found together in nature are carbohydrates and fats. You have to make that, except for nuts. A few nuts have carbs and fats together. Cheese and chips, you make that. Macaroni and cheese, you make that. Pizza, you make that. That's not naturally occurring food sources. And so when those food pairings happen all the time, that's when a lot of health issues start to happen because it's not a natural food pairing for our bodies. And so that's what we really focus on, is teaching you how to pair your foods correctly. So for example, for dinner, you could have steak and vegetables. Put the butter on the steak, cook your vegetables in butter, but don't eat the steak and potatoes because that would be a carbohydrate and a fat mixed together. And we still encourage you to eat lots of vegetables, drink lots of water, but now the food choices are in your hands. But that is why you also come in to see us for coaching, so we can help you do that, because we want you to be able to leave our program with the education and confidence that you can eat healthy and be healthy, and you don't have to be a part of this for the rest of your life, but you walk away with the knowledge on how to continue to have a healthy life.
So now it seems like there's been a lot of learning, and now in phase 4, you can stay on the path to healthy living. What are some of the outcomes you'll see when someone's body is physically fit?
We have people who are able to be more active with their kids. They are able to get off cholesterol medication. Their blood pressure is lower. They feel better. We have people who come to us who need to lose weight for surgeries, and so they're able to get those surgeries and have those surgeries in a healthy way and recover better, and clothes fit better. They just learn how to eat healthy. They feel better. Inflammation is reduced. Acid reflux is a big one. A lot of those issues go away. There's a whole different variety of issues that can be resolved if you just lose fat on your body.
As part of your coaching, how does the individual work with the rest of their family?
Well, you can use our protein products as snacks. We know a lot of moms who will buy them, our protein bars, as snacks for their kids because it's high quality protein with a lot of protein. Our products, some of our products have 23 grams of protein in one product, and they're great snacks for kids. They're sugar-free, they're healthy. You can't get anything that quality over the counter in a supermarket. So that's one way. I know when my kids come to the office, the first thing they want to do is eat a snack, and they beg for me to open up a product for them to eat it. Another way we encourage families to work together is just cooking together, talking about recipes. And because a lot of people think, well, if I'm eating this way, but the rest of my family isn't on a diet, then they shouldn't have to eat this way too. But if you start adding in more vegetables and more protein in your meal plans, your kids will learn and they will start to enjoy it. And especially if you start cooking as a family, go grocery shopping as a family, talk to your kids about what they think is healthy and unhealthy. And so that's where we really encourage families to start working together. And then typically, if there's one person in the family that's starting to get healthy and the other members can see the results and how good they're feeling, a lot of times that will encourage them to take steps as well if the other members need to get healthy too.
I heard on the radio station today that if you're in your 20s, there's more than a 50% chance that you'll live to be 100 years old. People are living longer. It's making great sense to get to know your body and to ensure that you live a good lifestyle. If someone is interested in the 4 phases and working with you, what is the best way to contact you?
The best way is just to go to our website, idealhealthnwa.com. It has email, phone number, information about our program. There's a contact form you can fill out to learn more information. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us. We also have a Facebook page with lots of fun stuff on there too, if you just want to kind of look and see what types of things that you do while you are on this program as well.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
I think so.
Okay. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Probably don't be afraid to ask for help. And I have used that recently, especially with starting my own business. And I've gotten great advice. I've met wonderful people, and I've just been able to get help when I need it. And it's worked out really well.
We're blessed in Northwest Arkansas to have many entrepreneurs. Young people are so willing to share what they know. Question 2. What would we find you doing on your day away from work?
Well, you would find me wrangling my 2 kids up, but playing with them, they're a lot of fun. Hiking, I like to go hiking, especially now that the weather is nice. I'm not a fan of the cold, so I don't get outside as much when it's cold, but I love going hiking. Tanyard Creek is my current favorite hiking trail right now, so that's a lot of fun. Or cooking. I love to cook. I used to be really bad at it, but I've always enjoyed it, and something that I have practiced over and over, and I've gotten a lot better at it. And that is a consistent part of my life, is cooking meals for my family.
So can you practice what you preach?
Yes, I do.
Here's the last question. How would you rate your memory?
Right now, I would just say it's scattered-brained. With starting my own business and having a 3-year-old and 19-month-old, sometimes it is all over the place. I have to write everything down, and I did not used to be that way, but now I have to. If I don't write it down, there's a good chance I'm going to forget about it.
I remember those days. We have several grandkids, and I wonder how we ever did that. Thanks so much for joining us today. We know you'll do really well in your new business. And thank you so much for tuning into Wonderful Life. And remember, the only things that you can take with you is that which you give away. This is Tom Rohr, the richest man in town, signing off till next time.
This is the Padua Podcast Network. PaduaMedia.com